everyone, it's Shriner from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Manifest Season 1, Episode 2, Re-Entry. Okay, so basically this episode picks up from right where they left off from the season premiere or series premiere. And so the plane just blew up, okay? And so all of the people, the passengers who were on the plane, 20 passengers, they were there when it happened. And so basically the government has detained them. They're asking them questions, trying to figure out what has happened, why y'all show up, and then this plane blew up. So we also see towards the middle part of the episode that the national security leaders, they're having this discussion about, do they have something to do with it? We need to keep a close eye on these people because our answer are within like one of these 20 people who were on the plane. But they basically detained them for over 8 hours. Then Michaela, all of a sudden you want to wait after 8 hours and tell them, oh, I'm a cop. I know my rights. You can't hold us. You need to let us go. And then they let them go. And then the girl was like, ugh. Could have used that 8 hours ago. And then Michaela, Michaela was like, okay, well, I still helped you. But I was like, girl, like, why do you take so long? Like, people got stuff to do today. So we see that during the course of the episode, Ben's child, Cal, so he's just going crazy. He's like, I want my Legos. What you do with my toys? You got rid of all my stuff. And so the whole episode, we see the mom trying to get him a new toothbrush because she got rid of the toothbrush, trying to buy all the Legos in the world. He was like, no, it's not it. So we also see that Ben starts hearing this music in his ears, the violin playing. He's asking people like, hey, do you hear that? Do you hear that at home when he was walking? And they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And so he ends up running into Rad, who was one of the people on the plane, and he tells him like, hey, I need your help. I know that your sister is a police officer, and I want to know, can you help me find my son? He's an illegal. His visa expired, so he can't go see his son in prison. So he needs Ben to ask his sister to basically, help a brother out. And so he ends up talking to Michaela, and Michaela gets him into Rikers. And we ain't gonna talk about that horrible little screenshot y'all tried to do of them, I guess, the outside of the prison, because that was just terrible, y'all. Y'all didn't even need to put that in there. But he goes to see his son. He sees that his son's been beaten up. He's like, who did this to you? And the conversation's going okay, and then it just ends badly, and then the guards have to take him away. And the son's basically telling him, hey, I'm innocent. I was working for this jewelry store. All of a sudden, I get knocked out. I wake up, and all of the jewelry is missing. And so basically, they pin everything on him. And so Ben and Rad go to talk to the owner and the owner's son about like what happened. And so the guy was kind of rude, but they were just like, okay, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, whatever. So in the meantime, Michaela is basically trying to get her whole life together. So she went in to the office, and then she ran into Jared, wife, aka her ex-best friend, Lourdes. And so Lourdes say something to her, and then she looking like, I don't know you, and kept walking. And Jared's like, hey, don't be hard on her. She lost another one of her best friends, and it was just a hard time for her. And I feel like if you have to take it out on anybody, take it out on me. And I was like, yeah, because I don't know why you talking to Jared bitch ass anyway, because like he the one who I expected out of him. So I can see why you still mad at your best friend for marrying your man. But yeah, so then she goes to her meeting with her supervisor. He tells her like, hey, I'm going to reinstate you, but I need you to pass the psych evaluation. She was like, that ain't right. But he was just like, look, we not dealing with normal circumstances, so I need you to do what you got to do. And so she goes to have the psych eval, and so she's talking to her. They kind of shed a little bit more light like 5 months prior that she was involved in her best friend's death because she was driving the car. She was under the influence, and basically she's like, I have nothing else left. Like, all I have is my job. I've lost my best friend. I've lost my mother. I've lost my fiance. Like, I lost my best friend. There's nothing else that I have but this job. And so we see that she starts to kind of make turns with everything. We see that she goes back later towards the episode and reviews like the Facebook profile that they had, like remembering her. And we see that Lourdes posted something every single birthday, even showed the engagement photo, like, I hope I can make him half as happy as you did. And so she just started breaking down crying. She go talk to the little therapist. The therapist reinstates her. And then she goes to talk to Lourdes, and then basically tells her like, hey, I was going to tell him no. I was going to break things off. And then that's a lot, because then they show that as soon as the plane lands, she sends a text message like, yes. and it didn't go through because your phone was shut off because I was gone for 5 years. So we see that she ends up leaving the ring for Jared on his desk, and you know, basically, I guess we'll have to keep figuring out how this little love triangle, because I'm sure it's a love triangle that's going to happen with them. Now, also, too, Ben's little wife. So basically, she's clearly, like in the beginning of the episode, Ben walk in and then she cover up real quick. I'm like, girl, what you covering up for in front of your husband? And so we see that she's still struggling because she obviously has this other person. And we see that Michaela catches her talking to this person. So she's just like, this is none of my business to tell him. So you need to tell him what's going on. And so we see towards the middle of the episode that the daughter basically says, Dad, let's go take that ride. And so they go to the storage unit, and we see that she's actually kept all of her father and her brother's things, even when her mom told her, like, hey, you have to let go. She said the therapist said I had to let go, but I don't know if it was my twin senses, but I knew that you guys were still there. And so he sees the scuba gear, because early in the episode, the wife was like, hey, you know, I went scuba diving, all this stuff. And so it clicks like, hey, she got somebody else. So we see that they come back to the house, and then, before all of that, he hears some tell him to go around the corner, and then they see the son from the owner of the jewelry shop, and he was the one who actually stole the jewelry, pinned it on the dude, and then was basically selling the stuff for itself. And so the kid gets out, gets reunited with his dad, all is well. Ben knocked the dude out, he went to jail, and I guess this was gonna be, they're gonna solve some type of mystery with one of the different passengers every week. I don't know, but Ben's wife finally tells him what's going on, even though we still don't know who she was with, but he was like, hey, I love you, I want you to give this another chance. And then she get naked, he get naked, so I guess they getting butt naked together, but wow. And so I guess they're gonna figure out how they're gonna mend everything. So I think that's basically everything for this episode that I can think of. No, the most important thing. So they told them, when they detained them, when they let them go, don't tell nobody what's going on. This is a matter of national security. Y'all can't say nothing to your family. Don't bring your behind on TV. And what this lady do, she bring her behind on TV, talking all over the news. And then that's what Ben saw when he was walking before he ran into the dude with the violin. And then she's sitting up there watching her interview at home, feeling all good about herself. And then we see this shadow, which was actually the shadow drawing that Cal included in the family photo, and we see the figures, like basically the shadow coming, and then the girls, it just blood on the TV, so the girl did. So I don't know what the hell going on, but I think it was a pretty interesting episode. So those are my thoughts on Manifest Season 1, Episode 2, Re-Entry. As always, my name is Sharonda from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you soon.